Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and thrilled to report that Steve Bannon will be celebrating the 4th of July behind bars, where the only fireworks he'll be experiencing are the stars behind his tightly closed eyes when he hits the showers. It is just wonderful to watch Steve Bannon going to prison and attempting to hold a press conference moments before, along with Marjorie Taylor Greene, facing hilarious signs, cowbell, more cowbell, and plenty of shouting. I love the find out phase, and I'll be mocking Bannon's farewell, the creeps that showed up to support him. I'll talk FCI Danbury, why Bannon picked this prison, and more, but first this.
Care about where our country is going to be rather than who delivered the most stellar debate on stage. And I care about who tells the truth, who's going to keep me safe, who's actually going to do things for the country. I don't feel like that's Trump.
Wait, what? You don't want to elect a pathological liar that wants to be the king of the USA and create some sort of diaper Don dynasty so we can go full idiocracy? Much of the debate fallout continues. It's not from the people, though. It's from the media, because fear sells papers. Voters aren't abandoning the party. Would some prefer a younger nominee? Of course. But it doesn't mean that they watched the debate and thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw my future down the drain. Go for the guy that's a whopping 3 years younger, you know? The convicted felon, the one that said the virus would just go away in the summer, whose own chief of staff and former general confirmed the losers and suckers comments. That guy. Get me that guy now. I want that guy now. It is pouring MAGA tears. I played in 35 countries for over 2 decades, but most days you'll find me here. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more.
I hope you have a terrific Independence Day. I'll be spending the 4th in sunglasses by the pool, so the future king can admire Princess Ivanka in the red, white, and blue bikini I will be giving her.
This is really cool.
Last Friday, the Supreme Court rejected Steve Bannon's desperate appeal to remain out of jail. And this week, Bannon reported to a federal prison in Danbury, Connecticut, to begin his 4-month stretch class. But before he could be whisked away in a black SUV, he gave a press conference along Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few other swamp creatures, such as this guy.
And I would also say, we turn my friend Steve Bannon over to the guards at the prison here. We will be here in 4 months to collect him in good health, maybe a little thinner and in better shape, but we expect that they take good care of him, or there'll be accountability for that as well.
Okay, if it sounds like he was threatening guards, it's because he was. That's Erik Prince, the founder of Blackwater, private security services contractor, and his companies have held billions in government contracts and do a ton of dark soldier of fortune work. And 4 of his employees were pardoned by Trump after killing 17 Iraqi civilians and injuring 20. In 2012, Blackwater's successor company, Academi, paid a combined $49.5 million to settle charges of arms trafficking violations dating back to the period when Prince was CEO and chairman of the company. The company has changed their name a few times over the years and now operate as Constellus Holdings, Inc., with several security companies under the umbrella providing mercenaries, private security, training, and more.
I'm totally prepared, mentally, physically, everything for prison.
Like, the mercenary guy was just saying he's going to lose weight and he's out of shape. I mean, this is an alcoholic decorated with liver spots. This pampered lunatic is not mentally or physically ready to jump in the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese's, let alone jail. What has this man been doing physically to get him ready for the slammer? I mean, unless he's been doing something that we can't see, like with some beads, I don't know.
I agree with your positions, and I'll be praying for you. I'm in the St. Ignatius Retreat House, 15 minutes away.
You are?
Yeah, I'll get you whatever you need.
Father, don't pray for me. Pray for our enemies.
Yeah.
Right? Pray. They're the ones who are going to need the prayers. Thank you, Father.
St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Ave Maria Purissima.
God sides with criminals, apparently. I mean, this guy took a break from hanging with the boys to come suck up to Bannon. I agree with you. Look at Bannon hunched over with his eyes closed. Better get used to that position. You're going to rely on it a lot. See if that prayer stops a sausage, Steve.
I was a brand new member of Congress. I'd only been there 3 days. 3 days. I could have been killed because of Nancy Pelosi. She did not secure the Capitol for anyone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is the same person that had her bizarre January 6th prisoner jail lap dance thing going at CPAC and said how they're all just tourists. Now she was fearing for her life, concerned for her precious bleach blonde bad-built butch body, which, by the way, was put on a sign by the wonderful Anarchy Princess. I love what she does.
Talk to your friends, talk to your family. We have to turn out the vote in November. That's what Steve Bannon wants us to do. He wants everyone to stay focused on victory in November. That's how we make all of this stop. That's how we return freedom to the American people. That's how we secure our southern border. That's how we end the foreign wars. And that's how we get America back on track for America first. That's what Steve wants everybody to do. That's going to be the greatest thing you do for Steve Bannon.
And this is fun. Here she is behind MTG, and you can see the milk crate that was required to give her some stature. Like Ron DeSantis, you don't need special boots. You just need a bit of wood and a dream.
For a very specific reason. Back in the only other person that's ever been sent to prison for a congressional subpoena, not going to a House subpoena, for contempt, held in contempt, was Rig Lardner Jr. Back in the 1940s, during the House Un-American Activity investigation, Columbia Studio fired him, because of his political beliefs. And then he was found guilty. They sent it to the DOJ. He was sent to prison. He was sent to this prison. That's why I requested Danbury, because there's no difference in his fight and in our fight. I'm a political prisoner of Nancy Pelosi. I'm a political prisoner of Merrick Garland. I'm a political prisoner of Joe Biden, the corrupt Biden establishment.
I do love the guy shouting, "Never surrender," when Bannon is literally moments away from surrendering. That's what he's here to do. There's no point in saying never surrender. He's surrendering. In fact, here he is on his way to Danbury, where he'll pass through a metal detector, undergo a strip search. These guards don't get paid enough. He'll then get a mental health evaluation, which is laughable because the man is crazy, and he will be assigned a cell with a bedroll. So for once, he won't have to lie to Mike Lindell and claim he sleeps on a MyPillow. A new great way to support the show is by joining the channel. You get a bunch of exclusive perks, and it's easy. You can do it right here. You can do it right here. You can do it right here. Now, if you tuned out a bit of that cowbell and shouting, Bannon gave a bunch of nonsense about Danbury, citing another inmate in the 40s. And no, that is not why Bannon actually picked Danbury. It does not take much digging on the prison to see that Danbury FCI has a nickname, Clansbury. Yeah. And less than 1 year ago, investigators from the Federal Bureau of Prisons heard firsthand from staff and inmates during a 3-day assessment of the overall operational climate at FCI Danbury, that minorities are discriminated against in discipline cases, racial slurs are written on the lockers of minority staff, racial threats are brushed off as non-important by prison managers, and minorities are treated unequally during performance reviews, according to a report. Danbury has roughly 1,200 male and female inmates. The prison is mostly white-collar, but does house violent offenders. Bad news for Bannon, he will not have internet access, but can still email without attachments, but they are filtered through a system on a delay, and he won't be hawking merch or donations since the Federal Bureau of Prisons Code bars inmates from conducting business while incarcerated. He'll also have 15 minutes of phone time a month. This was also how Alex Jones, InfoWars January 6er, would call into the show. So there's a chance Bannon could dial in. I mean, I'm assuming that's how he would use his 15 minutes. It's not like he has a girlfriend to call.
I love the 4th more than anyone, but I am not a fan of the fireworks. as they really scare my dog. I'm kidding. I've never had a pet in my life. I think animals are horrible, but I do carry a dead ferret on my head. Does that count? But whenever those fireworks are going off in the sky, I think of Ted Cruz trying to comfort his wife.
This is really cool.
But do you wish you didn't endorse him? Do you wish you had somebody else?
No, I don't wish I didn't endorse him. I'm proud of standing against the habitual liar who lies about everything from January 6th to his golf game, that he wins club championships that he's never lost.
Always important to show Adam, one of the last hopes for the Republican Party, who retired. He knew Trump wasn't a phase. It was the new identity for the right, and he happily tapped out after 6 terms, but remains in the Air National Guard. For those new to the show, I'm glad you found me. Thank you. For 2 years, I've been reading genuine pages from my special copy of Lauren Boebert's book. This is a ton of fun. I only do this once a week, and it's been pretty wild. Let's get back to it. We were sharing that last nut, but it was a small one, so our lips were locked, and that's when it happened. What the heck is going on here? Blurted my husband Jason with the Y, though he didn't say heck. He said the word that starts with an F, the one my kids shout whenever they leave the house or greet a neighbor. But I wanted to keep this book safe for work. I let my lips go, releasing the rest of the nut into Mountain Dew's eager mouth. I told him straight up, it's my manuscript, my life story, and my plans for when I do politics. Picking one up, he asked, vodka, Funyuns, frozen pizza, candy corn, call doctor? Of course you had to grab that one, and I clarified, that's my shopping list, and a reminder to have that downtown store checked. I pointed to the other napkins. The rest are mostly my political stuff and life notes. He looked like he was going to explode. And not in the date night way when we turn on the Xbox super loud so the kids can't hear us being extra romantical on the futon. I don't care about your napkin notes. What were you just doing with Mountain Dew? So that's what this was about? He was jealous that I didn't share the Patriot Trail mix with him? That I gave half of the bag to my emotional support hamster? But that wasn't what this was about. It was not about the nuts on my lips. I always knew you were doing stuff with Ted Cruz and then the Black Lightroom stuff, but I never thought you'd be two-timing me with a hamster in our own restaurant. Now, I shouldn't have to defend myself, but I did. There are times in life that you think telling the truth will help, but talking to Jason is like talking to cops. You need to lie. And I forgotted that. He pivoted from accusing me of having an affair with my hamster and was rifling through the gift shop for food. He needed an intervention. But this time, I didn't have his prison buds to help talk him out of a bender after we played a sweaty round of Smash Pile to calm him down. No, I had to channel my inner Stan Lane, because he's inside me. Somewhere. And I shouted, you promised us food. Go cook like a real man instead of having a tantrum over hamsters and salty nuts. He was furious and threw a gift shop pen, spearing the bar's styrofoam, "Don't tread on me" sign. He stormed through the swinging kitchen doors, screaming profanity at me the entire way, and I let him know, I love you. It was like a fairy tale. If you've enjoyed this genuine page from Low Rent Boozburb's book, let me know in the comments, and I'll see about reading another page sometime soon. You aren't funny at all. Mega tears. Tommy, don't waste your time pushing your left-wing theories. Joey Boy never showed up to visit residents after the accident. He was the fake president. People hate him. You have 6 months of this BS left. MAGA. MAGA tears. Well, I found the Cringe Lord channel. MAGA tears. I think it's really cool that folks watch this show from around the world. I want to wish my friends and family a great Canada Day and a great Independence Day. I'll be hitting a parade so my son can get a Halloween level of candy. And across the pond, on July 4th, there is the first general election since 2019. Since then, the leaders have come and gone, resigning to make way for the next screw-up. The party is in disarray, so many are hoping to oust the Tory government that has had 14 years in power under 5 different prime ministers. The election was called on May 22nd, kicking off a 6-week campaign. That's it. The rest of the world doesn't have these money burn pit multi-year election cycles. I just think we can all learn from this. Danbury has roughly 1,200 male and female inmates. The Prislin. Got to go to Prislin, get some Rizlas. But talking to Jason is like talking to cops. You need to lie. And I forgotted that. Do a ton of dark soldier of fortune work. Picking up one, he asked, "Vodka, Funyuns, frozen pizza, candy corn, call doctor?" Of course he had to grab that one, and I clarified, "That's my shopping list, and a reminder to have that downtown sore checked." All talk FCI Danbury, why Bannon pricked. And not in the date night way, when we turn the Xbox super loud so the kids can't hear us being extra romantical on the futon. And thrilled to report that Steve Bannon will be celebrating the 4th of July behind bars, where the only fireworks will be when he has his first shower. And then all the blacklight room thing at Lady Buns, but I never thought you'd be two-timing me with a hamster. With a hamster. In my own restaurant. With a hamster. Doing it with a hamster. What are you, Richard Gere? Is it Gear or Jeer? Thanks for watching. Please stick around and check out another one of my videos. Say hello in the comments. Find my stand-up on Spotify, streamed by millions, and add me on Facebook and Instagram. It all helps. Be cool, be kind, take care.